Not only is Iran miserably losing a war that they could have avoided if they just decided that they desperately did not want to kill all of us so badly that they've been attempting to do so for years, and successfully kill thousands of us, all right? Us Americans, Syrians, Israelis, their own people, vicious monsters that could have avoided all of this if they decided they didn't want to F around. But they did F around, and now they're finding out. So not only are they miserably losing a war that they could have avoided if they weren't freaking evil, but also they are managing to get the entire Western population that doesn't have their head up their own butt to become Islamophobic in real time. It's honestly horrifying stuff. People think that just by looking at the sidelines that this is a normal war between two militaries with two perspectives that are both relatively valid. That's not the case. We're taking out the garbage. Because when garbage festers and rats swarm the field, all of a sudden the plague is here. And we're trying to excoriate the cancer before it metastasizes. We have taken casualties, horrifyingly, in an honestly underhanded, disgusting way. Libtards are protesting in the streets that they want us to have more casualties, I'm not even exaggerating, and there have been multiple terrorist attacks on American soil from radical jihadists that are pro-Iran. In my opinion, this would have happened eventually. Regardless of this war, whether the war started now, the war started later, this was a jihadist that quite literally is planning on conquering America and destroying Christendom as a whole, pushing for Islamic takeover, and this is what pushed them over the edge. So we're going to talk about it. Multiple of those attacks on our embassies, and quite literally, freak show terror supporters like Hassan Piker and retards on the left are still frothing at the mouth, but normal people are waking up. Normal people are realizing that we have a threat inside of our borders. If normal people are forced to choose between dogs and Muslims, normal people will choose dogs every time. Trump also addressed the nation again, and we're going to look at that towards the end of the video. We got lots to talk about. First of all, super important to note, the approval of the U.S. killing Iranian leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, a terrorist, pedophile, rapist that massacred tens of thousands of his own people and hundreds of thousands of people across the world. Approved 40%, disapproved 31%. All right, and a lot of other people still unsure. Now, this is pretty diabolical, because I was literally told by a guy named Mehdi Hassan Ahmed Mohammed Piker Cenk Unger that this is a deeply unpopular opinion, and that the American people desperately do not want to kill terrorist pedophiles that are threatening to murder us on a daily basis. So I was very surprised that it turns out that they were all actually wrong, and Americans aren't completely retarded like they think we are. I guess all that inbreeding comes with a side dish of projection. Now, Donald Trump made a pretty great tweet. We're going to have to talk about the evolution of this war and some of the tactics that we've been using, because they're honestly incredible. Definitely subscribe for all the research. I'm doing tons of it all the time. I'm monitoring the situation. All right? I'm talking to family in Israel all the time. I'm going to cover it, and I've already gotten so many death threats from people with names like Mohammed, Mehdi, and Hassan, and stuff like that. It's a coincidence, but they're probably straight white Christians. But anyway, we have lots to talk about. We're going to talk about why retards needed to die. Donald Trump said, "I have just been informed that we have destroyed and sunk 9 Iranian naval ships, some of them relatively large and important." I love how he adds, like, I love how he adds that shit. "We are going after the rest, and they will soon be floating at the bottom of the sea. Also, in a different attack, we largely destroyed their naval headquarters. Other than that, their navy is doing very well." Oh my god! Bro is still cracking jokes while eviscerating and dismantling our enemy. It's kind of insane. This retard Khamenei gave his life for death to America, only to get absolutely obliterated. Now, heartbreakingly, and unfortunately, tragedy does strike. CENTCOM update. Apparently 3 U.S. service members have been killed in action, and 5 are seriously wounded as part of Operation Epic Fury. Several others sustained minor shrapnel injuries and concussions, and are still in the process of being returned to duty. Major combat operations continue. Our response effort is ongoing. Situation is fluid, so out of respect for their families, we will withhold additional information, including identities of fallen warriors, until 24 hours after the next of kin have been notified. God rest their souls. They died and fell, making this world a better place. Honestly, heartbreaking stuff. Now, apparently, these were some of the strikes. Holy shit, dude. Apparently, this is the strike that killed 3 of our soldiers. And we're going to have to talk about how this actually happened, where it happened, and why it happened the way it did. Now, the crazy update is apparently the U.S. official told Al Jazeera's news the 3 American soldiers were killed. They died from an Iranian missile attack in Kuwait. That's right. That's right. It's not like they attacked our ships. It's not like they were operating in self-defense. It's not like they attacked our soldiers that were fighting with them or in our ships and military. They literally attacked Kuwait. As I mentioned, I really think people are waking up and realizing that we're dealing with like an actual modern day death cult. They worship death. In fact, some of the extremists of the religion frankly believe that they should die in the midst of killing so that they could reach the highest status of heaven, where, you know, they get to rape children for eternity in heaven or something. Just the fact that they're attacking random countries is absolutely unbelievable stuff. In fact, they've been doing other war crimes during this war, right? I don't see any of the international law police crying about this one. They are using scattershot missiles, okay? These are ballistic missiles with cluster munitions, deliberately aiming to maximize Israeli deaths, right? This literally just struck Jerusalem about an hour ago. And these are cluster missiles aiming at cities directly. That's insane. Most of them were knocked out of the sky. Some of them did make impact. Thank God, from what I understand, no one was killed. But this is literally cluster missiles aimed at cities to maximize civilian casualties. This is a war crime. All right? Like, but again, no one cares. Where's the international law police when they fired cluster missiles at civilians? No one gives a shit. They did strike Jerusalem, as you can see. However, I think, thank God, no one was killed. You know, thank God. It's an unbelievable war. And of course, let's talk about the retards. The retards on our shores, the communists that quite literally we need to get rid of. Right? We need to excise them from public life, peacefully and legally, of course. So this is a libtard in America.
I'm a 10th Mountain Division infantry combat veteran here to say go, Iran, go. This dumb orange motherfucker's trying to cancel elections. He said he can do so if we're in war, and he's trying to do that, and if he cancels elections, someone's gonna cancel his ass.
Yeah, so this dude is rooting for Iran to murder our soldiers because Donald Trump is trying to get us into a war that's gonna last for 4 years and cancel elections. You're retarded. This isn't happening. It's unbelievable levels of delusion. And also, this is treason. Quite literally treason. Literally rooting and fighting on behalf of the Iranians that are trying to kill our soldiers. And he's not alone. Here's a non-binary LGBTQ activist saying that someone needs to poison Trump's food.
So apparently the reason why Trump eats so much McDonald's is because he's afraid of being poisoned, and he believes that it's nearly impossible for him to be poisoned with McDonald's food because it's fast food. It is incredibly easy to poison McDonald's food. I've seen it done before. I worked for McDonald's for over 10 years. And
yeah, the FBI needs to investigate your ass. Your non-binary LGBTQ ass needs to go to CCOT, okay? What the shit are we dealing with? We're dealing with retards in our own borders, which we'll get to later. There was just a horrible Islamist terrorist attack in Texas. And there's so many of these. Leachy Brooks Fox works at the U.S. Army, according to Facebook. In response to Trump killing Khamenei, she says she hopes someone will return the favor, a.k.a. kill Trump. Right? We have people, allegedly part of the United States Army, directly saying she's hoping that someone will kill Trump. What are we doing? Literally, this is insane. Like, you realize who these people are fighting for. They're fighting for Khamenei, a terrorist pedophile that murdered, massacred tens of thousands of his own people, as well as hundreds of thousands of people around him. From Syria to Israel to America to etc., etc. It doesn't stop. They bombed 9 countries over the last 24 hours, most of whom had nothing to do with this at all. Like the United Arab Emirates and Qatar and Saudi Arabia. They just bombed them because they want to maximize death because they're an evil death cult, right? So this is the Iranian women celebrating their freedom. And this is the American women protesting the Iranian women's freedom. You cannot make this up, all right? We are dealing with a massive issue on our own front. Aside from migration, we have an entire community of retarded communist Karens that quite literally need to be stopped. Oh my, they need husbands. They need husbands immediately. One husband for each of them. I don't know, maybe the stronger men can have 2 wives each. We got to take these people off the streets. This is diabolical. Doug, we have to objectively and critically analyze the 19th Amendment and see what we can do about this, because this is diabolical. We don't need to live like this among these people. How am I supposed to cope with them? Meanwhile, the Washington Post is doing its best to humanize Khamenei, all right? With his bushy white beard and easy smile, Ayatollah Khamenei cut a more avuncular figure in public than his perpetually scowling but much more revered mentor. Excuse me, what? This guy was a terrorist pedophile. He massacred tens of thousands. He literally has a quote saying that virgin female prisoners should be raped before execution so they don't go to heaven. They're describing him like he's Santa Claus in the Washington Post. What are we doing? No, I'm telling you, the left is completely retarded. Now, Iran reportedly launched a strike on the French naval base in Abu Dhabi. Again, they're just striking literally whoever they can, but France is a little too gay to actually get involved. Now, yeah, I'm gonna do a little bit of a deep dive onto the military operations before we get to the terrorist attack in Texas. But just now, 4 B-2 bombers flew all the way to Iran yesterday to drop dozens of 2,000-pound penetrator bombs on Iranian ballistic missile facilities. That's right, we're cooking them.
Learning new updates this morning on the historic mission executed by the U.S. and Israel in Iran. Senior U.S. defense officials tell Fox News that 4 B-2 bombers dropped dozens of 2,000-pound penetrator bombs on Iranian ballistic...
And no mass civilian casualties, thank God. Again, I don't want the Iranian people to suffer either. I want the Iranian people to rise up and take their country back from these Islamist terrorist fucks.
Missile
Think about all the goats we've saved from abuse by doing this. All right, look at it from this perspective.
Facilities underground.
The jets flew out of Whiteman Air Force Base in Missouri, and that's the same base used in the Fordow attack last summer. It was an 18-hour trip one way. The jets refueled along the way, and the B-2s have returned to the U.S.
Plus, we are now getting our first update from CENTCOM this morning.
Dude, that is insane, all right? Just think about the level of technical detail that went into this attack. Dude, Trump literally planned this shit for 6 months, and during those 6 months, he gave them the opportunity to make a deal. They refused to make a deal. We got all our shit together, and this is going to be the fastest, massive, gigantic war ever. This is not a 10-year slog in the Middle East like with Iraq and stuff like that. This is some pinpoint shit. It's unbelievable levels of, quite literally, swift, sexy imperialism, and I love it. Absolutely. That's right. You gotta get rid of these motherfuckers immediately. Now, Saudi Arabia is vowing a swift and overwhelming military response against Iran. No one saw this coming.
Back to that breaking news just into CNN about Saudi Arabia. It says that it is prepared to respond if Iran continues its retaliatory attacks. CNN international diplomatic editor Nick Robertson joins us now. What have you learned, Nick?
Yeah, this is a really new and big step by the Crown Prince here to authorize the possibility of Saudi response if Iran attacks Saudi Arabia again. He called their attacks yesterday and in the early hours of today cowardly. He said that these attacks by Iran were cowardly because Iran knew, the Crown Prince said, Iran knew that Saudi airspace was not being used to attack Iran, and this has incensed him. There have been attacks around the capital here that have been intercepted. There was an attack near a military airfield in the north of the country. There have been...
Because again, Iran, let me remind you, terrorists. They're just bombing everyone around them. It's not like they hate Jews and Christians, sure, but they hate other denominations of Muslims as well. The Sunnis and the Shiites haven't been getting along at all.
Attacks further east, much closer to the Persian Gulf, much closer to Iran. They've been repelled so far, but the Crown Prince has said that because of Iran's actions, he is putting the country, Saudi Arabia's security first, the safety of its territory, the safety of its citizens, the safety of its residents.
Makes sense.
He's putting those things first. And for
it's almost like everyone that actually has to deal with Iran fucking hates them because they know that they're terrorists that start all this shit everywhere, all right? and all the people in the West, right, with nose rings and fat communists in California that are pro-Iran, it's almost like they're just willfully ignorant retards.
That reason, he says, he is authorizing the right and the military here to respond if they are attacked by Iran. And also we heard from the foreign ministry here on their Twitter feed last night that the Crown Prince had a telephone conversation with President Trump, and in that conversation the Crown Prince had full support from President Trump. This is how the Saudis were reporting it. Full support from President Trump for how they should respond. And this is yet another example of how Iran has turned these Gulf states here, these very powerful, militarily strong Gulf.
They all fucking hate them. And the thing is, Saudi Arabia, Qatar even, the United Arab Emirates, for the most part, they want to flourish. Iran is a literal death cult. It's a literal terrorist death cult. Like, you can't even exaggerate this. That's exactly what they do, bro.
All states from being bystanders in Israel and the United States.
So Israel and the United States started it, but it looks like everyone is getting involved, all right? Now that it looks like it's super freaking successful, everyone approves of what's happening, now everyone wants a piece of the action.
On Iran into now potential participants. It ratchets up the fluidity.
Nothing radicalizes you against Islamic terrorism like being the victim of Islamic terrorism. It's kind of crazy how that happens.
The situation here, the dynamic of what is happening, people here in Saudi Arabia.
Sneeko says that Sneeko says Saudi Arabia is controlled by the Zionist Jews. Bro, you've got to stop. You've got to stop. This isn't real. This isn't real. My guy, maybe Iran is just terrorists. They massacre their own people. They massacre their neighbors. They attack us. They chant death to us. They plan on building nuclear and ballistic missiles to destroy us. Like, why are we playing this game, man? Maybe they're just fucking bad guys, huh? Maybe we don't need to always try to find a way to blame it on the Jews or America or imperialism or some shit.
We are concerned about what happens next,
yeah,
but not as worried and not as under as much threat as some of the Gulf neighbors that are closer to Iran. Yeah. And the Crown Prince has spoken with them and promised those countries like Qatar, like Bahrain, like the United Arab Emirates of support as they go through, all these countries go through this together.
Yeah, so it seems like all these Gulf countries are kind of working together with the United States and Israel to obliterate their common enemy of Iran. This is crazy. Now, Iran has been making believe it's been winning, right? They've been talking to their own people like, we have done fantastic jobs. We struck all of their ships, right? So Iran caught in a huge lie that it struck the USS Abraham Lincoln with ballistic missiles. Well, this is what actually happened. And as you can see, this is the USS Abraham Lincoln. Not struck by missiles. As you can see, it's still not struck by missiles. All right, we have jets flying off. No missiles noted. There's one of them going there. It's almost like it's just a lie. You know, they've been announcing that, you know, it struck the USS Abraham Lincoln. The missiles didn't even come close. The Lincoln was not hit. The Lincoln continues to launch aircraft in support of the relentless campaign to defend the American people by eliminating threats from the Iranian regime. Dude, they are trying so hard. They're coping. They're striking their own shit by accident. I mean, of course, Columbia University, right? These are the intellectuals, the communists and the feminists that tell us how we need to be more empathetic and stuff. The Columbia University anti-Israel group, which is generally code these days for pro-terrorists, posts death to America after U.S. and Israel kill Khamenei. Like, are we serious, bro? Why do we have gigantic swaths of groomed NPC students chanting death to America on our soil? Like, this is insane. We need to squash this communist grooming from all of these universities. It's unbelievable. Now, in Austin, Texas, a CBS reporter was told, literally, do not focus on the pro-Trump protests.
What does that mean? It means they don't want us to focus on this.
He just said, I was told not to focus on this. Well, I am. And essentially, a CBS reporter in Austin, Texas being massively praised after refusing to follow a text message from his superior telling him not to focus on the massive crowd praising President Trump's actions in Iran. They don't want us to focus on this? Well, I am. It's insane. The media's flailing, trying to make believe this is like a deeply unpopular position. It's quite literally not. And everyone knows it. And that's the craziest part. Now, Adam Schiff, Democrat, complete retard, talks about how he wishes Khamenei was still alive and with us.
Ayatollah Khamenei led a regime that brutalized its own people, launched attacks around the world for almost 40 years. So is the president right to take him out?
No, you're right about the Ayatollah. He was a brutal dictator. This is a murderous regime.
Right.
But at the same time,
brutal dictator terrorist, okay?
It posed no imminent threat of attack to the United States.
We should have waited until they had ballistic missiles that had the capability of reaching us and delivering nukes. Good point, Adam Schiff. It's like he's not denying that they're threats. He's not denying that they hate us, that they're murderous, that they're evil, that they're trying to kill us. He's just saying it wasn't going to happen tomorrow, so Trump should wait until they're literally next door before actually getting involved. Now, I have a very biblical perspective of all this. If they're coming to kill you, you kill them first. We don't need to play this game. Or we don't need to wait until the retard draws his pistol and then we shoot him. All right? No, absolutely not. That's retard shit. Only a Democrat could possibly think like that. No, we nuked that fucker from orbit, so we never even have to get into this situation. It's unbelievable how just badly the Dems want us to die. It's insane. Right? Now, I thought this was a pretty interesting analysis from Mullen.
And so I kind of hate it when the left is saying that war with Iran. We are not at war with Iran. What we're doing is being very proactive on a threat to the United States. After 9/11, we made a promise, never again, and we met that. Never again will we be caught flat-footed. And it wasn't a matter of if, it was a matter of when Iran was going to try to hit us with a nuclear weapon, but they already were developing the technology to deliver that. Not only did we destroy their nuclear ability during the 12-day war, but they were continuing to try to rebuild it. And then, Sean, they're working directly on their delivery system, and they could threaten all of our allies, all of our assets in the region. But more than anything, it was pretty evident they were trying to build a missile that could deliver it to the United States.
They quite literally said that was their plan. I believe them, right? like I don't know why we need to play this game. They openly say, death to America. We're trying to build a nuclear weapon that we could deliver to America to destroy America. America's the great Satan. We hate them. We're going to kill them. In fact, they've killed hundreds of Americans. Why do we need to play this game with these people? It's honestly a retarded position. It really is. Like, these dudes wanted another 9/11 as an excuse to fight them. No. You blow them up before a 9/11 happens. All right? It's insane. Now, the actual destructive capabilities of the United States cannot be under-described. It's honestly insane how effective we've been.
Israeli defense minister announced that Israel is now using stand-in weapons over Tehran and will now have a 24/7 presence in the skies above Tehran. That means that they and the...
Oh, in case you didn't get the memo, we own the skies above Tehran as well. All right? I'm sure you're not aware. They can't fly planes anymore. they cannot have takeoff because we own the skies. I don't know if you heard the news.
The U.S. military have effectively suppressed the air defense systems, or IADs, over Tehran, a huge step forward in terms of being able to track the movements of Iranian leaders and forces. In terms of the U.S. operation yesterday, the U.S. military carried out 900 strikes in 12 hours.
Damn.
That might be a record. The Israelis carried out 1,200 strikes in the past 24 hours, more than during the entire 12-day war last summer. In fact, the Israeli Air Force...
And no mass casualties. It's almost like all of these, so far, 2,100 strikes. Oh my god, dude, they fucked up. They fucked up so badly. Bro, they should have just kept fucking goats in peace. But no, they wanted to try to kill us. They really did so badly. Well... You know what they say, you fuck around, you find out.
Force just took out 2 Iranian fighter jets that were on the tarmac preparing to take off from Tabriz.
I saw that too. That was insane. I have to show this to you. Live updates. Israel says it hit Iranian fighter jets prepared for takeoff. Yeah, we own the skies. I don't think you're aware. We and our allies in Israel own the sky over Iran right now. They can't get their planes to take off. Before the fighter jets take off, they blow up. It's honestly incredible stuff. This might be one of the most efficient wars ever. Remember, we still do not have a single pair of boots on the ground in Iran. This is exactly what I've been saying the entire time. We don't need boots on the ground. I don't want a 10-year-long regime change war. Nice, swift, sexy imperialism. You go in, you fuck their shit, you leave. That's what I'm talking about. It might take a week, it might take a few weeks, but that's what we're saying. Now, as far as tactics being used, the Iranian state television was hacked by Israel, and they broadcasted Netanyahu. Uh-oh. Like, this is insane. That's insane, bro. Blowing up their ships, we're hitting their things, we're hacking their TVs, we're putting Netanyahu there, we put Trump there too. Oh my God, with Persian subtitles,
now is the time to
Farsi subtitles.
of your destiny and to unleash the prosperous and glorious future that is close within.
Oh my God, that is insane. Iranian state TV hacked, showing a message from Donald Trump to the Iranians. This is wild. Now, for those of you that are unaware, this is a new position that recently opened up. Multiple reports now indicate the newly appointed Ayatollah has been killed in an airstrike. Now, this is the guy that replaced Khamenei, and he had the job for about a day. He had the job for about a day, and not a very loved position these days, it seems. Ayatollah are dropping like flies. Now, you're probably wondering who's next. Well, most likely to be next is the last Ayatollah, Khamenei's son. Ayatollah Khamenei's son was supposed to be next. Oh, never mind. Oh, he's dead. Khamenei's son, Mojtaba Khamenei, long been discussed potential successor, also eliminated. Man, this keeps happening. Man, holy shit, we fucking destroyed them. Oh my God, that's horrible or something. Anyway, this is Patrick Bet-David. He is an Iranian. He went on to the news to talk about how the Iranians actually feel about this. Because I keep getting told by people named Mohammed and Hassan and Mehdi and Ahmed and Cenk that obviously this is a horrible, deeply unpopular thing and the people of Iran are suffering at the hands of America. But what do the Iranians actually think?
Patrick Bet-David joins us now. Patrick, what an amazing guest to have today. I want to start with this. I've been watching you on your podcast, also on Twitter. You say 80% of Iranians inside of the country are opposed to this regime. One, how do you know that?
Now, we're getting ourselves a really nice, healthy ally over there by just killing some retards that are trying to kill us. This is the greatest deal ever made.
And then what will these 80% do now that President Trump has taken this action? He said, now it's up to you. They don't have guns. Can they and will they fight for their freedom?
Rachel, great to be with you this morning. The only people that support the IRGC is actually the extremists of IRGC and white liberal women in America. You see women, Iranian women around the world.
Literally, it's Islamic terrorists and fat Karens in California with nose rings. You cannot make this up.
And Iranians celebrating the numbers we've seen is a low of 71% to a high of 89% that do not want to see what's happening in Iran right now. They're sick of it. They want to be free. What happens next is the way U.S. has done what they've done. The credit goes to their leadership team, what they've done. But, Rachel, here's what's interesting. Imagine you're by yourself right now. You all of a sudden get attacked at 8:15 in the morning. Two countries known for having strong military, Iran and U.S. and Israel, attack you, then all of a sudden you start attacking your allies at a moment that you need allies. I mean,
that's right.
It is absolutely double done what they're doing.
And Iran decides instead of actually striking America, they're going to hit Kuwait, which is where we actually lost troops, and every other country, and Oman, and Dubai.
In Iran right now, they don't know how to negotiate. They thought they can just say, look.
Yeah, because they're a death cult.
Let's give you, no, we're not going to do anything with nuclear for 3 years. Let's just wait for you to be out and somebody else is going to come in and we'll negotiate with them. And every once in a while in your life, you face somebody that when they threaten you, they're not kidding. They're serious when they say, if you don't do this, I will hit you. I will attack you.
Yeah.
No, they're not going to.
Look, we gave them an off-ramp. They didn't take it. That's a skill issue.
Do anything. You don't do that with Trump and his administration.
You know, I do think it's fascinating how the build-up to all of this, right? The allies that the Trump administration built in the Gulf, among the Gulf region countries, the planning, the intel, the Mossad, the CIA, the timing of the hit, all of that, and also kind of the weak response of the Iranians makes me think this might only be...
Well, the weak response of the Iranians is partially because we hit them so hard so fast that... Like, we took out all of their leadership in an instant. We also took out their you know, half their ballistic missiles in an instant. They also just lost a war brutally 6 months ago. Like, it's really, we own the skies above their country, bro.
Be a few week war that President Trump will come out on
Paper
the other
tiger.
side. I want to talk about Trump, but before that, again, I want to ask you, what happens inside of the country? Will it be the Shah? Will somebody arise in the opposition movement from inside? What is your prediction? I know you follow this very closely.
Yeah, that's something that none of us know. Obviously, the Mohammad Reza Pahlavi is having a lot of momentum right now. Every time he posts, he gets millions of views. So one has to say there's credibility behind the fact that he's getting that kind of momentum of people paying attention to what he has to say. I've been always critical about the fact that he hasn't moved urgently. I've always been critical, and I've even asked him on 2 different occasions, do you want this job or not? And he says, why would I leave a country of freedom in America to go back? But having said that, I got to give him credit for the last 2 months, 6 weeks. He's been playing offense like never before, and it's actually a very good thing. On the other hand, I don't know who's going to take over because I don't know who has strong relationship with the U.S. I don't know who's going to be able to play ball, to want to do diplomacy and deal with all these guys. I mean, it's not like you're going into a place that's soft. These are extremists. It's not like they're going to disappear the next day. They're still going to be around. And then at the same time, you know, he hasn't been there 47, 48 years. There may be some people in Iran that may want to vote for someone else. But the reality of it is, just like you, with where you're at, you said something very important a couple days ago when you said every single time the president mentions, you know, the VP of Venezuela, the 5 points is lost in Florida, you have to realize there's some names that you mention that it hurts the chances. Iranians don't like a lot of these names, but if we have an immediate election in Iran where they can pick and choose somebody that's a fair player, then Iranians can be free again.
I have 2 seconds left, but I know you follow leadership. What do you think this does for President Trump's reputation and his legacy if this is successful?
Bro, his legacy, dude. He will go down as one of the most beloved figures. Maybe not among liberal Karens, but among everyone that suffered at the hands of Iran, for sure.
And it's wrapped up in a few weeks. And I know that you talk about, you know, we don't know what's going to happen inside and how that's going to shake out, and that's always a problem. But what's your take on this move? Because it was bold and courageous in a lot of ways.
One, history books are going to write about this, and many of us will be able to say we were living during this time, but maybe they need to put a little spot in this place called South Dakota. They call it Mount Rushmore because during the last 100 years,
damn!
I don't know a president that's done what he's done, and you got to give him credit for it.
Yeah. That is big praise. Oh my God, dude. People don't recognize exactly how massive this is, I think. I think people think this is just another El Presidente. This is a supreme leader. He counts as 2 El Presidentes. Now, the Iranian leadership got so humiliated that they are begging Trump to negotiate. You know, now, after they wiped out the entire leadership, now they want to negotiate.
Just got a message from a senior White House official who tells Fox News President Trump said new potential leadership in Iran has indicated they want to talk, and eventually he will talk. For now,
eventually he will talk.
Operation Epic Fury continues unabated.
Diabolical. Oh, you want to talk? We'll talk. Give me a week. I still have to hit a couple more targets. It's insane. Now, one of the giant stories that's been going on recently, which is absolutely wild, is a death toll at girls' school hit and strikes rises to 148, CNN says, by Karim El Damanhouri. That's right. So Karim El Damanhouri publishes an article on CNN about how children are dying because the school was hit, which is tragic, absolutely tragic, and 148 girls died in this girls' school. These children died for Trump's greed and literally nothing else, says retard on Twitter. Now, Drop Site News, which is one of these leftist news aggregators, the death toll in the girls' primary school in Minab has risen to 148 dead, 95 wounded, Iranian state media reported. Heartbreaking stuff. It's honestly sad. This has got to be the worst single atrocity committed directly by the U.S. since Vietnam. All right, so Iran blames Israel. The leftists blame the U.S., which is pretty insane. Except the Iranian regime confessed that actually no, this is in the original Farsi, all right, and this is in a translation. The IRGC aerospace missile hits a school in Manab County province. The Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, that's the IRGC, announces that this was an inadvertent mistake and that serious action will be taken for those responsible for this action. As you can see, people are retarded. As you can see, this was a misfired Iranian missile. They blew up their own school and they immediately decided to blame it on, the United States, the great Satan. All right, so again, everyone falls for this shit. They push this this garbage, the single greatest atrocity committed by the U.S., their missile blew up their own kids, all right? What are we doing here? Like, these are actual terrorist monsters, and everyone's running defense for them. We have to talk about, in my opinion, one of the scariest stories of the day, though. Because we all knew that this was going to happen. Unfortunately, it was just, in my opinion, inevitable. Breaking. The FBI is investigating a mass shooting in Austin, Texas that left 3 dead and 14 injured as potential terrorism. This was really scary. So this was at a bar in Texas. I obviously can't show you the footage, but we do have footage. Obviously, it was a nightmare. Guy goes in, blasts a bunch of people, 3 dead, 14 injured. That's insane. Now, Austin bar mass shooter possibly motivated by Iran attacks. Why would we think that? Quran found in car. FBI eyes terrorism after 2 killed, 14 injured, and a 3rd eventually died. Breaking, the FBI confirms last night Austin mass shooting was an act of terrorism. I see. Wow. The suspect is Ndiaga Diagne. He was born in Senegal, living in Texas. A Quran found in his car. The Austin mass shooter was reportedly an Islamist, born in Senegal. Wow, it's crazy how this keeps happening. Let's wait for confirmed details before jumping to conclusions. It's confirmed. Source? Literally the media. Every bit of the media. Austin bar mass shooter possibly motivated by Iran attacks. Quran found in his car. FBI eyes terrorism. Like, dude, are we serious? This is insane. Austin bar mass shooter possibly motivated by Iran attacks. Quran found it in car as FBI eyes terrorism. Dude, we get it. All right, we get it. Obviously, we have some radical Islamists in our country. They want to kill us. This is the oldest news in the universe, unfortunately, but people like closing their eyes and making believe that it's not going to be here. It's not going to affect us. It's like, just because they're part of a death cult that literally wants to massacre us all the time and are looking for an excuse to do so, it doesn't mean that there's actually going to be any harm by importing foreigners with ideology that's fucked up. That's definitely not going to affect us at all. What are you talking about? The Austin, Texas mass shooter is a migrant from West African nation Senegal, 53 years old, naturalized citizen, Islamic Quran found in his car. Another third worlder. The FBI believes terrorism related, several dead, over a dozen injured. Yeah, so Senegal. That's I can't show you the footage. It's too hard, man. It's brutal. Yeah, so a 95% Muslim country, by the way, in Senegal. So again, another instance of why the fuck was he here? Another instance of maybe we shouldn't import third worlders with an ideology that involves them literally wanting to kill us. I know this is a controversial take, but maybe perhaps we shouldn't do this. All right, so let's hear some updates onto this Senegalese Islamic terrorist that just murdered a bunch of people.
Digging deeper into that mass shooting in Austin, Texas with some brand new information. I had mentioned before, 3 people killed. Fox confirmed the shooter who police killed was a naturalized citizen from Senegal. Sources are now telling...
Hot take, illegal immigration is bad, but legal immigration is a problem too.
Fox, the shooter was wearing clothing that said Allah on it, and he had on an undershirt with an Iranian flag on it. The FBI has just announced they are investigating this as a possible act of terrorism. They said maybe, probably, could be. They're investigating it as such now.
Yeah, it might be Islamic terrorism. It's just a guy with the Allah written on his shirt and a Quran found in his car killing people right after we struck Khamenei in Iran. Well, anyway, this is the guy. Fox obtains photo of the Texas mass shooter. A dude over here, clearly a straight white Christian, clearly a Zionist. This is a Hasidic Jew, for those of you that are unaware. Clearly, as you can see from this photo, there is no other interpretation. Property of Allah, it says on his shirt. Wow. So yeah, no, another classic example of how legal immigration is not a problem. That's right. He legally came from the third world with an ideology that directly wants to kill all of us. This is a huge W, guys. Now again, every single illegal immigrant needs to leave just on virtue of the fact that our country has borders and laws. Every single one of them needs to get deported without an exception, without an exaggeration. Every single one of them. Get the fuck out of our country. We have a country, we have borders. Leave. Literally leave. And if you think that no one's illegal on stolen land and you think that borders are fake, well, that's great, because technically, if borders aren't real, then there's no such thing as deportation. All right, we're just moving you to another landmass. Okay, all right, there you are not getting deported. You are being relocated. Okay, shut the fuck up. Get on the trebuchet. We're launching you to Mexico. All right, we don't need to deal with this shit. All right, and that's illegal immigrants. In regards to legal immigrants, why are we importing people with ideologies that want to kill us? Like, we should only be importing people that make our country better. We shouldn't even have the ideology whatsoever of importing people that directly have ideologies that want to kill us, right? This is the Austin, Texas mass shooter. Nadiaga Diagne, property of Allah, okay? All right? This straight white Christian male. Another classic example, all right? To quote Joe Biden, our former senile president, this is what he had to say.
We won't ignore what our intelligence agencies have determined to be the most lethal terrorist threat to the homeland today. White supremacy is terrorism.
Right, absolutely. Thank you, former President Biden. I don't remember what you did when you were in office, but then again, neither do you. So yeah, anyway, obviously another classic example of how white people are the greatest threat to America. It's crazy that we need to live like this, bro. So this is breaking news. Reported Islamist shooter in Texas has been identified, 53-year-old Nadiaga Diagne, who wore a property of Allah shirt during the terrorist attack, and they got him. As you can see, they actually got him. Good. We didn't need to get here. We didn't need to get to this point. Obviously, it's good they got him. It's good they eliminated this fucker. But we did not need to get to this point. Now, of course, this is heartbreaking for multiple reasons. Not only are there victims to this terrorist attack, but also Hassan Piker is having the worst day of his life. Hassan leaves beautiful words in eulogy of the innocent people murdered by an Islamic terrorist attack on American soil, inspired by the fact that we decided to murder a terrorist dictator that killed tons of our people. With "come on, man." Truly moving and beautiful, heartfelt words. Now, the reason why he's saying "come on, man" is because he believes this is a secret Jewish American false flag attack, where this guy, who is clearly the most Jewish, Israeli, Christian, white nationalist I've ever seen in my entire life, trying to push forward a war against Iran or something. Clearly, it's a false flag. And the reason why I say that is because he made this tweet. If there's any terrorism that happens on U.S. soil now, you will never be able to convince me, nor millions of other Americans, speak for yourself, sir, not everyone's as retarded as you are, that it wasn't an Israel and America conducting it together to rally the masses to support an insanely unpopular war. As I've shown you already, this is not an insanely unpopular war. That's one. Two, it's not really a war. It's more like taking out the trash. All right, this is chemotherapy. All right, we gotta obliterate a couple of cancer cells before they metastasize. All right, this is some chemo. Definitely very important to be done. And thank God we killed the rat. Now we have a couple more rats that we need to exterminate. We don't want the bubonic plague coming back. All right. We're also trying to save animals. All right. We know that you guys are not scared of death or something, but you are scared of dogs. And I mean, you love goats. A little too much, some would say, but we're not going to get involved into that at this point. So Hassan Piker says, "come on, man," over here, because he thinks it's a false flag attack. He thinks this fucker is an actual secret white supremacist Nazi, a Jew. I love this guy. Hassan's amazing. It's unbelievable. He's the largest leftist political streamer. It's truly incredible. It's a secret Jewish white supremacist Israeli American Nazi that is working on behalf of the Zionists to murder random Americans in Texas to convince people to fight in the Middle East. Are you retarded? That was a trick question. The answer is yes. It's unbelievable that we need to live like this. Okay, it's unbelievable that we needed to import all these retards into our country that are violent, that one is dead, quite literally. And it's also retarded that we need to deal with this. It's also retarded that this is the largest leftist streamer in America. A open, devout communist that's pro-radical China and Islam and directly wants our people to die. Completely and utterly supporting terrorism on every single day. This is not a condemnation, by the way, because he thinks that this was secretly the Jews. I don't actually think he is that dumb to believe so, but that's what he's gonna say. You know, it's insane that we need to live like this at all. So Congressman Randy Fine said a Muslim terrorist had killed Americans again, this time in Austin, and they wonder why I choose dogs. Mass deportations now. All right, now the reason why I bring up Randy Fine is because there was recently a whole debate where certain Palestinian activists in New York were trying to ban dogs. No, I'm not kidding, right? Because dogs are unclean according to Islam. So they were trying to ban dogs from New York, because as we know, New York is now a radical Islamist caliphate or some shit. I don't know. So Randy Fine made a really viral tweet saying, if I had to choose between the Muslims and the dogs, I know what I would choose, right? And he's completely right. We don't need to import people into our country that want to change our way of life, including end our life. That's just another thing that I'm not a fan of also in general. So this is what he had to say. And the crazy thing is, apparently, this retard, this terrorist, by the way, is responding to his tweets or was rather, they found this Ndiaga Diagne's old Twitter account. All right. So this is an old Congressman Randy Fine tweet saying, when someone yells praise Jesus and a Christian is experiencing joy. When someone yells Baruch Hashem, a Jew is doing the same. When someone yells Allahu Akbar, there's a real chance someone's about to get killed. It's not Islamophobic to say this, it's true. Glib, don't get me wrong, but a little bit on the nose. This guy, Ndiaga Diagne, says, so say someone whose holy book says Jesus Christ is being burned in hell and his mother was a whore, whereas Muslims revere both Jesus and his mother, lamau, he ended up shooting up a bar in Texas and murdered 3 people and injured another 14. Also, what he's referring to is the Talmud, a Jewish collection of debates between rabbis, and this is not a correct quote whatsoever, because it does not say there in any place ostensibly that Jesus Christ is burning in hell. This is actually a misquote that everyone misquotes about a Roman guy talking to a Roman necromancer, where the Roman necromancer said to the Roman general that Jesus wasn't burning in hell. All right, that is it. That is the Talmud quote. The Talmud quotes a guy who spoke to a Roman necromancer that said that. The Talmud's position is that Jesus is in heaven, because the Talmud explicitly states that everyone goes to heaven, except for like 5 exceptions that are listed in the Old Testament. So again, not only is it a lie and it's just pushing the random fake news bullshit, but also this guy ended up shooting up a bar. All right, and like he ended up proving Randy Fine correct here, even though he tried to shut him down. Now, not only that, but this dude has a history of tweeting. So this is a tweet described Donald Trump in 1 word: a shameless clown. That's 3 words. What's the most dangerous enemy of the United States? Is it Russia, Islam, Dems, China, etc., etc.? So funny, Islam is considered an enemy of America because Jesus, who came out of a vagina, can never be God. Just read Mark, John. Your lies, propaganda, insults, and smear will not stop Islam. Islam is here to save you in this world and hereafter. So I love how this dude has like 1 tweet saying, why would you like the Jews? The Jews don't think Jesus Christ is the Messiah. And then it's like, Jesus Christ was filth. He's terrible. That's what this guy's saying. It's unbelievable that we need to deal with this shit. All right, so we're importing these retards into our country. They hate us quite literally. Like let's be honest. You think this guy talking about how Islam is here to save you in this world and thereafter, right? You really think that this retard is coming here to make America a better place? All right, now this is Valentina Gomez. She's running for Congress, I think, in Texas. Basically, this is her saying that we don't want Islam in our schools. The response was just post your address, meaning I'm gonna come and kill you, right? Like this, it's unbelievable that we have these people just out there in the wild doing shit, and then they end up shooting people. All right, so this is Laura Loomer saying, fuck Candace Owens, this woman should be in her basement, etc., blah, blah, blah. And this terrorist responds with, shut the fuck up, you fucking Israel first whore, move to Israel, you fucking bitch. And then he shot up a bar. I'm just noticing that this is insane. Like, these are the people that you're fighting with on Twitter. People that come into our country and are just insane. Apparently, this person was following Tucker Carlson on Twitter, which is wild. This is just a retard. The Islamic Revolution is eternal and here to stay until the end of time. You Zionists and Islamophobes can be angry all you want, but you can't do a damn thing about it, no matter what. All right, so here we have retards calling you Islamophobic and then shooting up a bar. Like, can we not acknowledge for a second how insane this is? These are the retards on Twitter you're fighting with. Like, people that we imported. Now, here's a video from October 2023. Never forget. Unvetted males from Senegal crossing the U.S. border in Texas. Military age. No families.
How you doing? Where are you from? Senegal. Senegal. Where are you going? New York. New York. Thank you, sir. You? Senegal. Where are you going? Nigeria. Thank you. Where are you from? Senegal. Where are you going? North Carolina. Thank you, sir. You? Where are you from? Senegalese. Where are you going? Thank you, sir. Where are you from? Senegal. Where are you going? Senegal. Thank you. Where are you going? New York. From where? Yeah. Senegal? Thank you. Where are you from?
You get the idea. Completely and utterly unvetted, crossing the border under Biden. We don't know who they are. These are all Islamists. Well, 95% of them are Islamists. We have no idea who they are. They're in our country. They hate our way of life. They hate our religion. They hate everything about us, quite literally. I mean, let's be real. And there they are, because they want free shit. They're probably on welfare right now, taking money from taxpayers. I'm not even exaggerating. It's insane that we let this happen and we let our country get raped like this. Now, that is one terrorist attack that happened today. Breaking, multiple emergency crews are responding to a mass stabbing with gunfire. Reporting on the I-495 near Washington, D.C., 4 people stabbed on the Beltway. Suspect subdued. For those of you keeping track, more Americans were murdered in America since this war started than American soldiers on the battlefield. I hope you're aware of how insane it is that, yes, there are these radical retards that are in our countries that we let in because we have a death wish and because we had suicidal empathy under every single fucking blue president ever, that we let them in, they come in, and now they're gonna kill us. And then there's nothing we can do about it. We have to live with these people, and they're gonna breed, and they're gonna have children that are also gonna have their ideology, and we're gonna need to deal with this shit. Unless we don't. Unless we actually do something. We need to figure this shit out. We need to get them out, bro. But it's Islamophobic to notice. I'm not allowed to notice this. Mass stabbing occurred right outside of Washington, D.C. Dude, this is crazy. Absolute insane world, and they don't give a shit who they're stabbing.
Bravo, I'm going to start you to a public service 495 southbound prior to Little River Turnpike. We're getting multiple calls of a male subject stabbing several people on 95. It started out as a property damage crash, and now he's stabbing people with a knife. Car 70, Bravo, you direct.
K95 reference. I'm direct. Start the.
Yeah, that doesn't sound like a car accident. Bro popped out with a knife and started stabbing people. Dude, this is insane. Mass stabbing in Washington, D.C. Muslim terrorism is back in full force. Dude, it's never left, okay? Let's be honest for a second. It's just been kind of on the low down, all right? In fact, this is Dearborn Henry Ford Community College professor, Ali Akbar Shadid. This is a real guy, all right? This is a professor in a college in Michigan.
Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. To God we belong, and to Him we shall return. The pure soul of Sayyid Ali Khamenei.
The pure soul of Khamenei. You know, the terrorist pedophile?
Returned back to its Lord as a martyr, like Imam Hussein alayhi salam, and joined his grandfathers and all of the prophets and the best of prophets. Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him.
You see, it's good he's mentioning all these guys, because they are actually all in the same place. But that's not having sex with underage women for eternity in heaven.
And his progeny, the Ahlul Bayt alayhi salam. May Allah raise their ranks in paradise and shower them with mercy.
I love how they get ranks in paradise. All right, a low-rank martyr only gets like a couple of underage women that look like Frogan. A high-rank martyr, they get like slightly younger underage women.
However, Trump did a huge mistake by killing our beloved leader, Sayyid Ali Khamenei.
Our leader? Well, our leader, bro. Are you insane? We have a professor in Michigan calling Khamenei our leader? Dog, get these people out. Get them out. Deport. We need to figure this shit out, bro. What are we doing?
He thought that by killing him, he's going to make the believers submit.
No. He thought that by killing him, and also killing the rest of the leadership, and also by killing the abilities of bombing us, you'd stop fucking bombing us. All right, which is a pretty valid point. All right, no one's trying to get people in a death cult to stop believing in a death cult because a couple of people in a death cult died. No, I don't think these people understand anything.
And make them hopeless. However...
No, we don't want you to be hopeless. We want you to be powerless. There's a pretty big difference.
We're going to continue on the path of Sayyid Ali Khamenei.
Dude is literally saying we're going to continue on the path of the guy that chants death to America. We're going to continue on the path of the guy that has killed tens of thousands of his own people. Hundreds of thousands of people in surrounding countries. We're going to continue the path, says a professor in a college in Michigan.
We're going to hold his blood, his ideology. We're going to learn it and teach it to our children and grandchildren.
When are we going to acknowledge that this is a problem? When are we going to acknowledge that we have a major issue in our country? We need to get these people the fuck out. When are we going to acknowledge? All right, this is Hassan Piker, furious that everyone's happy that terrorists are dead.
The Persian diaspora, the Iranian diaspora, has that same like Zionist attitude. that I think
everything is Zionists. Everything is Zionists with this motherfucker. It's crazy. He literally has the most third world mindset, politically speaking, of all time. Right? Communism, which he understands as let's just give free shit to all the people, and Islamic terrorism. It's honestly unbelievable that this dude exists. He has an entire audience of these retards that are dangerous, and they're spawning in our country. Like, it's crazy. He's furious that every single Persian person on the planet that's not a terrorist himself is happy about this. 80% of Persians are thrilled that this retard is dead, and Hassan Piker is crashing out, and they must be Zionists. They must be Zionists because they're happy that a guy that slaughtered 40,000 Persians in the last month is dead.
think will cook them in the long run, where they're just objectively fucking annoying.
It is so annoying that these people want freedom and are happy that this terrorist pedophile is dead.
They just straight up will be like, no, you have to understand, like, if you don't fucking slaughter my grandparents, I will kill myself. Like,
except they're not slaughtering their grandparents. They're killing terrorists. I know that Hassan thinks that everyone's grandparents are terrorists because Hassan's grandparents are probably terrorists. But that's not how it works.
You have to slaughter my grandparents right now. You have to blow up their home.
What?
They got bad fucking vibes. They have to go. Like, every time.
Yes, the Iranian people want freedom, and they're fighting for freedom. They stormed the streets. 40,000 of them were massacred over the last month fighting for their freedom. And this retard is sitting there being like, they're just Zionists and retarded and stupid and annoying.
Every time there's someone of the Iranian diaspora on television, they literally are like, oh, you don't care about me. You don't care about me.
They're literally right. All you retards and from all you third world retards and communists have been yelling about Palestine, all right, who started a war and lost miserably, all right, but none of you have anything to say for the tens of thousands of Iranians slaughtered on their streets fighting for their own freedom.
Like you said, Israel was bad. And it's like, how does anyone unironically watch this goober? They watch, well, ask your mom. She watches with one hand on the mouse and the other hand flicking her own fucking beat. Okay?
Yeah, this guy's actual disgusting freak. It's incredible. It really is. It doesn't stop. He's what an actual creep. Like, it's unreal. So now, anyway, this is Kyle Skalinski, one of the people that's been celebrating the murder of Charlie Kirk. All right, so this is what he had to say. Trump, rise up, Iranians, and take back your government. Iranians show up in record numbers against America and Israeli imperialism. Right, as you can see, all these guys are pro-regime. So it turns out it looks like we're wrong. We were all wrong. Maybe the Iranians aren't actually happy. Maybe the 40,000 plus Iranians that were massacred on the streets really fought for nothing, and the mass population of Iran actually supported the Islamic terrorists. Wow, that's what Kyle Skalinski over here is implying. This is a video from 2020. It's unbelievable. The host of Secular Talk reposting a video from 2020 that he instantly believed was from today because a theocracy told him so is hilarious. True. Again, Islamic propaganda has got to be the lowest IQ shit ever, and retards just eat it up. And he knows it's fake at this point, but he leaves the tweet up because it's all about the propaganda. He doesn't give a shit about the truth. And it's diabolical, right? So this dude is going to be happy that Charlie Kirk was assassinated, but he's going to be mad that a terrorist pedophile that's been massacring tens of thousands was eliminated. Like, it's unbelievable that these people even exist. Meanwhile, in Pakistan, all right, I showed this earlier in my previous video. I'm covering all the shit. Definitely subscribe. Pakistan has been attacking our United States embassies. All right, they took a break from having sex with goats to attack and storm our embassies. As you can see, this is how Iran fights back, by getting goat fuckers in Pakistan to attack our embassy. Wow. Nice, good stuff. Now anyway, obviously this got violent really quickly. As you can see, it turns out the U.S. Marines that were stationed there opened fire on the armed rioters. Right, you can hear the gunshots in the background. They were literally threatening their lives. It was a mob attacking them. They have a right to defend themselves. God bless our troops. Fuck these retards. Code Pink, which is a leftist activist movement, says, U.S. Marines shot and killed at least 12 people in Karachi, Pakistan. More than 30 are injured. Where is the international outrage over these U.S. soldiers slaughtering Pakistani protesters? Now, the craziest thing is, where was your outrage when 40,000 Iranians were massacred by this regime? They didn't care. But now they want everyone to rise up for 12 goat fuckers in Pakistan that were killed in self-defense. Right, the Democrat Party, the liberal white women. Come along now, off to the next protest. All right, come along. Come along. Super important. We've got to get there immediately. Now, here, I felt like this is important. This is the explanation. Here's why you're getting shot. You can't attack our embassy. I know it's simple. All right, if you're a retarded Karen lesbian that attacks our ICE agents, you're gonna die. If you're a retarded goober nurse that's unemployed, that's wielding a firearm, threatening our ICE agents, you're gonna die. You're gonna get shot. If you're gonna attack our embassy with sticks and pointy rocks, you're gonna die. Now, I'm sorry. That's just how it works. This is not controversial whatsoever, and the fact that leftist activists in the United States really think they're gonna galvanize people into protesting for Karachi, Pakistan, dude, people don't understand. This is levels of retard I wasn't paid enough to talk about. All right, so Donald Trump just addressed the nation right now. This literally happened as I was recording it. So let's see what actually happened. I didn't see this yet.
Over the past 36 hours, the United States and its partners have launched Operation Epic Fury, one of the largest, most complex, most overwhelming military offensives the world has ever seen. Nobody's seen anything like it.
He's right. He's right.
We've hit hundreds of targets in Iran, including Revolutionary Guard facilities, Iranian air defense systems.
Good shit.
Just now was announced that we knocked out 9 ships plus their naval building.
Wow.
All in a matter of literally minutes.
God damn.
Iran's formerly...
See, this is what I'm talking about. Now, you see, that's why when I said I am against wars, I am against wars, boots on the ground, infinite soldiers dying, suffering from PTSD, etc. I very much like the idea of whacking a couple of retards across the world to just basically tell them that they're not allowed to kill our people.
The Supreme Leader, Ayatollah KHAMENEI.
Oh my God, he's smiling.
He's dead.
He's dead.
This wretched and vile.
He died like a dog. A beautiful dog.
Man had the blood of hundreds and even thousands of Americans on his hands and was responsible for the slaughter of countless thousands of innocent people all across many countries.
Yeah.
Last night, all over Iran, the voices of the Iranian people could be heard cheering and celebrating in the streets.
It's true.
When his
I showed that
death
in my previous video.
was announced.
Yep.
The entire military command is gone as well, and many of them want to surrender into saving their lives.
Oh, that sucks for
They
them.
want immunity. They're calling by the thousands.
God damn.
Combat operations
That's what I'm talking
continue
about.
at this time in full force, and they will continue until all of our objectives are achieved. We have very strong objectives.
Listen, man, we offered them to make a deal. They said no. This is the other option. Look, what do you want me to say? What do you want me to say? Skill issue. Next time, make a deal. There won't be a next time.
They could have done something 2 weeks ago, but they just couldn't get there.
Yeah, because they wanted to kill us. Like, think about how insane this is. They're such a death cult. They wanted to kill us so fucking badly that they were willing to sacrifice their lives for even the morsel of a chance that they wouldn't get obliterated. They got obliterated.
Earlier today, CENTCOM shared the news that 3 U.S. military service members have been killed in action.
Heartbreaking.
As one nation, we grieve for the true American patriots who have made the ultimate sacrifice for our nation, even as we continue the righteous mission for which they gave their lives. We pray for the full recovery of the wounded and send our immense love and eternal gratitude to the families of the fallen. And sadly, there will likely be more. Before it ends, that's the way it is. Likely be more, but we'll do everything possible.
Heartbreaking.
Yeah, that won't be the case.
Dude, war sucks. War sucks, man. Look, I'm constantly talking to family that I have in Israel. I probably won't be streaming a lot for the upcoming days. I know that I'm a happy-go-lucky guy generally on my videos, and that's because I am an optimist at heart. I believe God does have a plan. But I am extremely stressed. That's just life. And I don't know. It's brutal. Yeah.
But America will avenge their deaths and deliver the...
I'm stressed for my family. I'm stressed for our troops. And hopefully God protects them and helps us deliver swift justice, save tens of thousands of lives.
Most punishing blow to the terrorists who have waged war against basically civilization.
Yeah.
They have waged war
basically
against civilization itself. Our resolve, and likewise that of Israel, has never been stronger. America is now, again, the richest, most powerful nation in the world by far.
Yeah. Not even close.
But the only...
Dude, no one can do what we're doing. And this is why I firmly want to say, as I slap my cock on the table, international law is fake and gay. Because absolutely no one on the planet, even if every other country worked together, I don't think they could stop us from doing what we wanted. Not saying that, obviously, that I want that to happen. I don't want a world war or anything, God forbid. I just want people to recognize our superiority. Nuxanor supremacists, yeah. Because we're better. I'm just being real here. I'm just being completely real. We're better. We're better. We're better. We can do this to anyone. All right. Keir Starmer, you want to continue being a fucking retard in England? We might have you in some Brooklyn jail by the end of the week if we really wanted to. All right. If we didn't make our El Presidente quota, we might just nab you on the way.
The reason we enjoy the quality of life that we do. And
Dog, we could conquer Canada in 2 hours, and I'm not even exaggerating. Like, Iran's military is stronger than Canada's. And across the world. And we're fucking pulverizing them.
The freedom and security is we have done things that others are unable to do.
True.
But it's because of...
Dog, Putin. Think about Putin. He was supposed to be our rival superpower, right? Dude is getting his ass handed to him. Right? He's stuck here for years fighting against Ukraine. Okay? I'm not even exaggerating. But that's crazy. Like, it is crazy, the levels of difference here.
War.
United States aura has never been higher.
Warriors who are willing to lay down their lives to do battle.
Legends.
With our enemies.
Heroes.
And they do battle better than anybody.
True.
An Iranian regime armed with long-range missiles and nuclear weapons would be a dire threat to every American.
Straight fact.
We cannot allow a nation that raises terrorist armies.
And then leftists are like, but they didn't literally attack us yet on our mainland. Well, first of all, they technically did. And second of all, why are you like this? Why are you like this? Why do you so desperately want them to kill us before we actually do anything? God, it's so nice to have a president that could just do things.
Just to possess such...
Here, before some judiciary judge, some Obama-appointed judge is gonna declare Ali Khamenei unallowed to be killed. That's why you can't get these people to get involved. Like, Trump's so frustrated that he's getting cucked by the Obama judges in America, like to deport illegals and shit, he just decided to take over the rest of the world instead.
Weapons would allow them to extort the world to their evil will. Not going to let it happen.
That's right.
We're not happening
That's
to
right.
us, and we're not going to let it happen.
Trump has been consistent. He said this from day one. Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon. They tried to make a deal. They refused, and now they're fucking dead.
Happen to others.
Yeah.
The United States has the strongest military the world has ever seen.
I like winners.
What
can I say?
Military in my first term.
I really like winners.
There's never been a military like we possess. And frankly, there's nobody even close. But
he's right.
We are now using that military for good. We want to have it for good purpose. We're undertaking this massive operation not merely to ensure security for our own time and place, but for our children and their children, just as our ancestors have done for us.
Dude, I would not trust a Democrat president to deal with Iran. All right, if we had like AOC, God forbid, as a president, and Iran was like, yeah, we're just making nukes because we want to use it to power electricity, and she'd be like, okay, just don't like nuke us, right? It's like, for real.
Us, many, many years ago. This is the duty and the burden of a free people. These actions are right, and they are necessary to ensure that Americans will never have to face radical, bloodthirsty terrorist regime armed with nuclear weapons and lots of threats. For almost 50 years, these wicked extremists have been attacking the United States while chanting the slogan, death to America or death to Israel or both. They are the world's #1 state sponsor of terror.
Yeah.
We are the world's greatest and most powerful nation, so we can do something about what they do.
Exactly, bro. Exactly. We could just do things. Oh my God. It's just objectively the correct stance. Everyone that's like crying and screaming and shrieking and losing their mind over this, oh my God, it's illegal. Get the fuck out of here. No one gives a shit about what you have to say. Someone tell the Iranian people that it's an illegal war, right? While they cry tears of joy that their oppressor is finally obliterated. All right, go tell them that it was illegal, actually. And technically, I don't even like the term illegal. It was an undocumented war, okay? All right, let's get the terminology straight.
These intolerable threats will not continue any longer.
That's right. Again, like, people don't understand what we're dealing with. These people tried to assassinate Trump twice, said they're going to try again. They have caused terror attacks both abroad, to our Marines in Lebanon, they literally killed 241 Marines in Beirut. They've attacked us everywhere. Hamas has killed us. Hezbollah has killed us. The Houthis have attacked their ships. They're all proxies of Iran. Iran also was involved in multiple attempted assassinations of different people on American soil. We don't need to live like this. We don't need these retards to always be a threat, always be trying to develop some sort of weapon to threaten us existentially. Why should we need to get to that point if we could just obliterate them today?
I once again urge the Revolutionary Guard, the Iranian military, police, to lay down your arms and receive full immunity or face certain death.
That's right.
It will be certain death.
Oh, boy.
Won't be pretty.
Uh-oh.
I call upon all Iranian patriots who yearn for freedom to seize this moment, to be brave, be bold, be heroic, and take back your country. America is with you.
Yeah.
I made a promise to you, and I fulfilled that promise.
He did. He did. He made that promise. He made that tweet. Iranians take to the streets. We got your back if they kill protesters.
The rest will be up to you.
That's right.
It will be.
God, that's exactly what I wanted to hear. No boots on the ground. We're not going to be sitting there. We're managing it. We're not installing democracy across the world. That's not our business. We have to take care of the threat to us. Yes, that happens to be an unbelievable net positive for the people of Iran and net positive for the people of Israel and the Saudi Arabia and everyone else and Syria and everyone else that's been terrorized by Iran. But fundamentally, our job is to take care of us. And that means getting rid of a threat. That's right. Yes, it's also objectively good for all these other reasons, but quite literally, at that point, you figure that shit out.
Be there to help. Thank you. God bless you to our incredible warriors, and God bless the United States of America. Thank you.
Amen, King. Yeah, no, he cooked there. Great speech, great address. Ultimately, obviously, rest in peace to the valiant people, the innocents that were killed throughout all this, our troops. 3 troops that were killed, as well as the people that died on the other front of this war, which is from radical Islamic terrorists in our country, right? Including stabbings and shootings and shit like that. It's unbelievable that we need to live like this. Deport. We're the strongest nation in the world. We have the strongest military. We're the strongest country. If you threaten us, and if you're planning on killing us, you're gonna die. Like, subscribe, and this video was streamed live on kick.com/Nuxanor. See you there. Stay weird, fam.